what you got. Oh, I can't see tomorrow. Gotta live, try to get a little wiggle room, the rest don't stop. Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Tryna make a dollar, flip it like it's vinyl. Tryna make a way. What's it worth to you if the price too high? Quid pro quo, I need the best y'all got. Give me your best. Don't tell me nothing less, cause I'm giving you 100. How you always leaving me with nothing? I'm not impressed. It's gonna take more than this, cause I'm giving you 100. And I don't even know if I can trust you for nothing.
Well, good morning. Good morning, and welcome to, I guess I'm going to put my light up. Welcome to Friday, y'all. It is Friday. I forgot this, so y'all give me just a second as I fix myself here. Nope, don't like that. Well, good morning, and welcome to Friday, man. We are rocking and rolling. Man, it's going to be a good day. It's going to be a great weekend. Lots of good things happening. Hope you are excited about your weekend. Hope you're excited about all the things that are going to happen in your life. And maybe somebody's going to get up on a Friday morning and be with us. Hopefully we'll get that, get somebody to join us. I'll wait just a little bit. Let the coffee start to percolate, and maybe we'll get somebody on here this morning. Good morning. Welcome to Friday. Welcome to August 18th, 2023. Welcome and good morning. We'll just keep waiting just for a little bit. Maybe we'll get somebody to join us. The whole morning routine thing really hasn't grasped. Y'all haven't grasped that yet. We've been talking about morning routines for a long time. I think everybody likes watching these videos later in the day. Nobody likes to get up early in the morning and do it first thing in the morning, I suppose. Happens sometimes. Wait just a little bit longer. I'm going to wait till about another 30 or 45 seconds and I'll get cranked up. If nobody's here, then we'll just keep rolling. You can watch it later. But we are live. I don't know why. It's really crazy. I don't know why people don't jump on here anymore. All right, let's get rolling. My name's Aaron Dwyer, and I'm one of the team leaders and brokers for the collective. I'm also one of the coaches for Drive Reach Game. And my wife, Christy, and I started the Drive Reach Game. We started DRG, the collective, after we left another brokerage and decided to jump in here and be team leaders, and really, really wanted to focus on coaching, really wanted to focus on development. That's what we've been doing for the last 5 years in our other brokerage. So we decided that we were going to move, change companies, change brokerages, and really, really focus on our coaching and development to help other people be better. So this morning's call, these morning calls, these live calls that I do, they were an idea that Christy had driving down the interstate one day, because we had decided that we wanted to stay in contact with our agents because we were so busy and the agents were busy that this morning live call gave us a chance to be in communication with them and be in contact with them. So it was a live call started every single morning at 6:30, and really it was a call that we were interactive. So sort of the way. Hit a button there. if you were up with us in the morning, we wanted you to say hello, say good morning, and join us on a call. And then these calls would then be put out to folks in other places and other platforms. But this really was a live interactive call because we believe in our hearts that again, the morning's the most important time of your day. And we believe that if we can help people have a good morning, then we'd help them have a good day. And if we could help them have a good day and they can string enough of those good days together, they could create good months. And if you can create a good month and create enough good months consistently, you'll create a great life. And so we were really hoping that these calls would help move people in the direction with a little bit of 1% change, 1% difference in the direction they were going to go. So we get up early in the morning. We get up before the sun comes up, and I do these calls at 6:30 Eastern, 5:30 Central. And we've done these probably for going on 2 years. But, there's been some changes. We've had some changes in our company, obviously. We've had some changes in the folks that listen to the calls, obviously. And so we have, Christy and I have decided we're going to change up this format after today. This will be the last day we do a call in the morning, weekly call in the morning. We may do one a week, but we're going to start doing some things in the afternoons or doing some things in the evening, and just retain our morning routine and my morning rituals and her morning rituals, and then let you guys, whoever wants to jump on here and be dedicated to this, let them come in and be dedicated to it. So this morning I'm going to finish up, and then I'm going to just really, really quickly, I'll just finish this up this morning because I want to talk about the last little segment of what I funnily, what's the word I'm looking for? Kind of in jest created a title, Vic Keller's 4 billionaire buckets. These 4 things are part of Vic Keller's epic community, part of his epic mindset, part of what Vic Keller believes were instrumental to not only his success, but also to what he's seen over the years as he's become a highly sought after speaker, as he's developed into one of the world's best and most successful entrepreneurs. He has developed these 4 buckets of what I've called them buckets of in a collection of behavior patterns, and a collection of thoughts, and a collection of of behaviors, I should say again, to help people be successful. So the 4 buckets that he talked about were intentionality. And Vic Keller says intentionality, in his opinion, is thinking big and acting bigger. I just was telling Christy upstairs, I am absolutely amazed by this new book that I'm reading. I'm reading a book called The Intention Experiment. And the Intention Experiment is I'm in the 5th chapter right now, but it's a collection of all these stories proving scientifically now with people hooked up on monitors and EKGs and EGGs and MRIs and brain scans and gut scans and heart scans that one person's thoughts can affect another person's physiology. Now, if you think about that, that your thoughts can affect someone else's physiology. If the greater, maybe the greater implication in that is that your thoughts and your intentions can create changes in your life, that your thoughts and your intentions can actually create changes in matter not associated with you, can actually change things out there, that your thoughts can affect other people's thoughts. And if you really sit and start to ponder that and really begin to dive into that, it makes intentionality, and what Vic Keller says, thinking big and acting bigger, it makes it so much more important than anything maybe you've ever heard in your entire life, that your thoughts truly do have the ability to change reality, that your thoughts truly do have the ability to change the way things happen in your life, that your thoughts truly have the ability to create a life differently than you have right now. It's funny, the Bible says capture your thoughts, right? It says capture your thoughts to the obedience of Christ. It says to pay attention to what you're thinking, and it says to capture those thoughts that aren't on things that are good, things that are joy, things that are of hope, things that are happy. It tells you to capture those thoughts to the obedience of Christ. It tells you to only think about these high things, only think about these things that are good. been scientifically proven that's true. And there's a reason for that. So Vic Keller talks about intentionality, thinking big and acting bigger. Talks about tenacity, becoming relentless in your pursuit, tenacious. Coach Michael Burt talks about prey drive. If you don't know what prey drive is, go. Y'all know I was a police officer for a while, and I was in canine for quite a while. And one of the first things we did with our dogs to find out if they had prey drive was, as soon as we got these dogs, we would go get a ball and throw the ball. And if that dog it had any level of pause when the ball was thrown to decide if he was going to go get that ball or not, we put him back in the crate, put him back on the airplane, and sent him back to where he came from. When that ball was thrown, that dog had to immediately chase that ball. That's prey drive. And those dogs will chase those balls as long as you'll throw them, they'll chase. That prey drive is inborn in those dogs. That prey drive is deep down inside their psychology. It's deep down inside their physiology, and that's just who they are. Just like they're a dog, just like they have fur, just like they have a tongue, they have that prey drive inherently built in. Some dogs have it and some dogs don't. Some people have it, some people don't. And in that tenacity piece that Vic Keller talks about, I believe it is in line with what Coach Michael Burt talks about in his prey drive theory. And that is when you have enough prey drive, you will walk through walls. You will call when you don't feel like calling. You will become relentless in your pursuit, to use a word to describe tenacity. Situational awareness. Vic Keller talks about situational awareness. Vic Keller is a pilot. So his situational awareness basically is a pilot term that he talked about. And he said, if everything on the instrument panel goes out and I'm landing a plane, I need to know what it's going to look like. I need to know what angle I'm coming in with the sight picture that I see. I relate that to my experience as a police officer and understanding what sight pictures look like, to understand that what situations look like, to be aware of my surroundings, to have my chin up and my eyes on the horizon, my chin up and my eyes scanning the periphery, looking for what's out there, being situationally aware in our life and in our business. He also talks about people, and y'all have heard me say the power of proximity, and we've talked about this a lot, and that power of proximity, and that you need to have guides in your life and not gurus, people who've been there, done that, people who have the t-shirt, people who have got the scars, who have the survival story that are going to help you learn how to get through what you've got to get through, people who have the scars of the past, who have climbed the mountain and come back down to help other people go back up it. People like Sean Swarner, who climbed the 7 tallest summits on 7 continents. And somebody like that comes down and says, hey, if you'll climb the mountain this way, you're going to be okay. I'm in. Let's do it. I'll follow behind you, bro. Have a guide, not a guru. Okay. So let's talk about these, and and then I'll get off of here, and you guys can get to having an awesome Friday. I guess everybody's using this Friday to sleep in. So, but I'm gonna go ahead and get this thing done. I'm gonna record it, and y'all can watch it later. All right. So let's talk about this intentionality. Let's talk about the ability to think big and act bigger. Let's talk about thinking big and acting bigger. And again, I want you to hear me when I say this. I've always believed in mind over matter. I've always believed that. For whatever reason, it's always intrigued me that some people, I'm not a runner. I always did. I just never liked running very much. But when I was a police officer, I used to be around people who ran a lot, and they would run a lot more than I could run. And they seemed to enjoy it, and they seemed to really embrace running. And it was always strange to me, because I started to hurt at some point in my run, and it started to create pain for me at some point in my run. And it was always strange to me as to how people who like to run would just run and seemingly get through the same pain that I was feeling. They would seemingly get through that physiological negativity to continue to run. And so mind over matter was always something that I believed was their tool. That was their key. That was the reason why they could do it, is they just thought their way through the pain. They just kept running and eventually thought their way through the pain. And then I started to study Navy SEALs. And if you study Navy SEALs, their mindset, their their mindset and what they think is possible for them, helps them get through all the turmoil, the pain, the hurt, the agony, the discomfort that they have to go through to wear that pin. They think their way through that. Now I believe, and so now that I'm reading this book, the intention experiment, I'm so much more aware of my thoughts. I'm so much more aware of my intentions. I'm so much more aware of what I'm putting out from my brain into the world. Okay. So this morning, when I talk about intentionality, that's the perspective that I want you to think about this in. I want you to think about this in the perspective of that your thoughts create things. Your thoughts create things. So here's what I want. This is the one that I want to share with you. We're all in this world, especially in the real estate business. And again, that's our platform. That's the space that we're in. But this really translates into anything and everything that you do. We are in a world of busy. We are in a world of distraction. We live in a world of constant stimulation. I mean, yesterday, I am sitting at my desk working. I've got 3 screens, and I've got 17 windows open in 3 screens. I've got a phone with a conversation going on the phone that has nothing to do with anything on the screens. My desk has got 3 or 4 different books. Even right now, I've got a couple of 2 or 3 things, 2 or 3 different things going on. We live in a world of distraction. And that distraction, I believe, is by design. I'm not going to say that. I do believe the distraction was by design. I'm not going to say what I wanted to say because I don't believe distraction is here to help you. I don't believe that all the stimulus that you deal with in your daily life and all the busyness that you deal with on a daily basis is here to benefit you. I believe it was created to harm us. Believe it was created to hold us back. I believe it was created to keep us out of our highest and best self. I believe and truly do believe that it is something that it's just not good. Okay. So here's my intentionality for you today. This is what I want you to hear this. I want you to remember this. I want you to take intentional breaks and prioritize your self-care to maintain your overall well-being. I want you to intentionally take breaks during your day. I want you to prioritize your self-care to maintain your overall well-being. Y'all, there's so many things that are coming out now. There's so many things that y'all know that I'm a big Gary Brecka fan. Christy actually heard Gary Brecka the first time and introduced me to Gary Brecka, and I've become a huge Gary Brecka fan because he believes the same way. Good morning, whoever that is, Facebook user. Hey, good morning, Heidi. How are you this morning? Happy Friday. Gary Brecka believes in a much more intelligent and a much smarter, much more accomplished way, what I believe for a long time, and that's the human body will take care of itself, that the human body has all the ability to take care of itself, because I believe there's just no way that God built us so that we had deficits, right? If you're created in God's image, God didn't create things that are bad. He didn't create things that weren't perfect. He doesn't create crap. So if everything in nature can take care of itself, then why would we be able to take care of ourselves? So I've always been a proponent of self-health, self-regulation, and our body being able to take care of that. Well, Gary Brecka is much smarter, big, huge brain dude, and he believes the same thing. And there's so many things coming out right now that show that if you're intentional with your actions, you're intentional with your breath, you're intentional with walking outside barefooted for a little bit, you're intentional about what you choose to drink or don't drink. And we all know this, but he has put it into a system and shown you that you could actually increase your life by 7 years if you just do a little bit of the things he's talking about. If you change some of the things that you're doing right now, y'all, Western medicine's bad. I'm not a doctor, but Western medicine's bad. So here's how I want you to be intentional today. I want you to take intentional breaks and prioritize self-care to maintain your overall well-being. If you are not in harmony, if your health is not in harmony with your business, if your business is not in harmony with your family, if your family is not in harmony with your health, if your health is not in harmony with your spiritual walk, if all these things are not operating harmoniously and any one thing is out of harmony with the other, it becomes evident and obvious, but it affects everything else. If the band is playing and the drummer is on his own beat and the band is on another beat, can you not notice that? Is it not audibly obvious how out of sync they are? And it's almost uncomfortable for me. It's almost uncomfortable to listen to when a drummer is on his own pace and everybody else in the band is on their own pace. And it's subtle, but you can hear the difference. Our lives are the same way, y'all. When we get out of harmony in one section and one part of our lives, and one part of our life is out of harmonious, we don't call it balance. I just don't believe. I don't believe. And Christy shares, and she sort of introduced me to this because I used to talk about life balance a lot. And Christy sort of changed my mind on this. If you look at balance, typically you look at a scale, right? And one side has to go down, so for the other side to go up. And then when one side goes down, the other side goes up, and vice versa, right? Everybody knows how a scale works. That's typically balance. And if you ever tried to balance six or seven things at one time, you ever tried to make sure everything is, 4, 5, 6, 7 plates? Those guys in the Mexican restaurants that carry all those plates up their arm, I don't know how to do that. But she introduced me to harmony. That our life needs to be in harmony, not necessarily in balance, but it needs to be in harmony because there's some times where we have to work 12 and 13 hours a day. But if our home life is not in harmony with us working 12 or 13 hours a day, then we're off kilter. If we only want to work 2 or 3 hours a day, if our life is not in harmony to allow us to work 2 or 3 hours a day, y'all get the point. It has to be a harmonious balance. So I want every one of you to be intentional about taking some time to take care of yourself. I want you to be intentional about going outside and taking your shoes off and walking in the grass. I want you to take a moment this morning. The sun is up, but I want you to take some time. That's why the morning is so fantastic. You need to have a morning where you just watch the sunrise. Take some intentional breaks. And that day when you're grinding on the phones or you're grinding in your business, take some time, be intentional about it, and walk outside and breathe. Be intentional about taking a moment just to go breathe some fresh air. Take an oxygen break, okay? Be intentional. You'll hear us say this a lot. Christy says it a lot. I say it a lot. If you don't control your day controls you. If you're not intentional about how your day is going to work, your day will be intentional about putting you in the ground. And you only have so many days. We only have our days are set. We only have so many days. If we knew what that end day was, we would live our lives completely different. I promise you. But because we don't know exactly what the end day is, we don't know exactly when that clock's going to get punched for our last one. We live our lives in random succession. We live each day in a random succession, and we let whatever happens is going to happen. We just kind of roll through life doing whatever we want to do because we don't have an exact date. I promise you, if any of you watching this call, if I told you only had 30 days to live, you'd live your life different. You would become intentional about who you spend your time with. You would become intentional about what you choose to do every single day. And I just want you to live your best life now. So be intentional. Take care of yourself, okay? Take care of yourself. The second one was tenacity. Let's see what this one is. Oh, here's a good one. Your tenacity serves as inspiration and motivation to help others pursue their goals. Whether you like it or not, y'all, people are watching us. People are watching you every single day. If it's your children, it may be your spouse, it may be a friend, could be a neighbor down the street. Sometimes we enjoy being watched and sometimes we don't. But I will tell you that your tenacity, your stick-to-itness, your ability to see things through becomes motivation and inspiration for somebody else. So be tenacious. Be tenacious. Stay with it. Have that prey drive. Go after it with your highest and best emotion. With whatever you're doing, man, do it with absolute unbridled passion. Had a phone call with a guy yesterday. And I'm not always like this, y'all. I'm really not always like this. And there are days where I don't feel it. But yesterday I was feeling it, man. When I got off the call. We had a great call with a new partner that we're joining with. And I got to the office and a guy called me and I talked to him last week and given him some encouragement and tried to help him through some things. And he called me and goes, man, you are always so energetic. And I said, dude, I'm not always energetic and I'm not always feeling energetic, but today I'm feeling it. But I was able to inspire him, able to embrace some change in him because I'm tenacious and I had that tenacity and I had that drive and I have that desire and want to be better every single day. I wake up every single morning trying to get better. Wake up every single morning trying to get better. Be tenacious. All right, situational awareness. Let me find a good one for situational awareness since this is our last one. Oh my gosh. For those of you in the real estate space, you'll hate this one. Stay aware of your key performance indicators to make data, potato, driven decisions. Pay attention to your KPIs, your key performance indicators. Know how many calls you have to make to get certain results. Know how many conversations you have to get certain results. Know how many listing appointments you have to go on to get a listing. Know how many listings you have to take to make a sale. Y'all, this is a numbers-driven business. I promise you, we were so good at helping our agents drive their business. We are so good at helping people figure out what their KPIs are, figuring out how to build a business around performance and be able to put more money in the bank at the end of the year than they've ever had in their lives. Christy and I are really, really good at that because we've done this business for a long time and we have figured out what the KPIs are. So if you hear Tom Ferry or Coach Bill Pipes or Aaron and Christy or whoever talk about real estate, talk about how to drive your business, I promise you we can help you with this. But being situationally aware means you're paying attention to what you're doing. Again, a haphazard life is no life at all. Going through this thing haphazardly is no life at all, y'all. We've got to be intentional. We've got to be tenacious, and we've got to have a clear sight picture of what our life looks like. We've got to have some intention and some ability to focus on what we're doing every single day so that we can make changes. One of my favorite sayings is try, fail, adjust. Not everything's perfect, and we mess up. Christy showed me a story from the guy who invented the Dyson vacuum cleaner. And it's the same story of every single successful person. I mean, it's a $1 billion vacuum cleaner company. $1 billion vacuum cleaners, right? But he went through 5,200 failed tests. He went through 5,200 failed prototypes. He went through 5,200 screw-ups. And he coined the phrase, and he said it just like Thomas Edison said it. It wasn't that I failed 5,200 times. I just found 5,200 ways that it wouldn't work. So I love try, fail, adjust, but the only way to know what to adjust is to know where you are. The only way to know what to change is to know what you're doing. And then measure that against what other people are doing. Know what you're doing. Y'all, the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. How many of us in this real estate game how many of you in your life, you do the same things on a daily basis and just hope it's going to get better? You hope that one day it's just all gonna fall into place and get better. Y'all did that for a long time, where I just hoped that one day it would get better. Hoped one day it would get better, not realizing that I was the key indicator. I was the key contributor to it not being better. So let me say this. Check your KPIs, check your key performance indicators. Use that time when you're being intentional to take a break. Use that time when you're being intentional in some self-care. Okay. Evaluate where you are physically. Do you need to go to the gym? Do you need to eat differently? Do you need to exercise more? Evaluate where you are spiritually. Do you need to go back to church? Do you need to pray more? Do you need to do something for people in your neighborhood? Evaluate where you are mentally. Do you need to read more books? Do you need to study more? Do you need to go take a class? Are you doing everything perfectly? Evaluate where you are in your business. Are you doing the right things? Are you making the money you need to make? Or do you have the freedom that you want to have in your business? Man, all these things are super, super important. But you got to take a moment to figure that out. So not only do you need to be intentional about what you're thinking and doing, but you need to be tenacious. You need to have that tenacity. You just need to keep going because other people are watching you. You are a leader whether you like it or not. You're a leader and people are watching you. So take a moment, be intentional about your self-care. Understand that people are watching what you're doing, okay? And then figure out a way to evaluate where it is you are, where it is you want to go, and then figure out how to marry those two things together and then just start walking it out. Okay? The last one we'll get out of here. Guides. Man, this is so important. The power of community, the power of proximity. Ken Jocelyn talks about proximity as a cheat code. We hear all the time that there's power in the proximity, that there's power in the people that you associate with. Your grandmama told you years ago, and this is grandmama wisdom, that you're going to be the product of the 5 people you hang out with the most. That your life's going to look like the 5 people that you hang out with the most. There is power in proximity. Turkeys don't hang out with eagles, and eagles don't hang out with turkeys. And birds of a feather flock together, and it's amazing to me. The longer I live, the more I see that this kind of person ain't my kind of person, and they move away from me. But that person who ain't my kind of person finds persons who are much like them. And they begin to build their little community. And they build their little thing. And then the person like me, who I am, more people come to me. And then we start to build our community. We start to build our thing. There's power in that proximity, okay? So here's the thing about guides for you today. A guide who's been there, done that, they encourage self-reflection. They help you understand your motivations, your strengths, and your weaknesses. That's why I'm here. I truly believe that Christy and I's job on this planet, the day we find out why we were born, is that very thing right there. And I could sum it up right there. Our mission in life is to help people find their motivations and their weaknesses. Our mission in life is to help other people find the best versions of themselves. Our mission in life is to help you become the best version of you. That's our mission in life. And it's not always perfect. It's not always perfect the way it's done. It's not always perfect in the way we communicate. It's not always perfect. We're not as polished as some other people. But I promise you, what is perfect is our desire for every one of you to be the best version of you. What is perfect is our desire for every one of you to have the life that you dream of. What is perfect is our hearts towards you. That is perfect. I promise you it is. So again, I'm going to leave you with this on this Friday, August the 18th, 2023, because this is the last and only, not the last, it is the only August 18th, 2023 you're ever going to have. So in the next 17 hours of this day, I want you to live it like it is the last one you're ever going to get. I want you to be intentional about taking breaks for you. I want you to be intentional about taking some time for you. I want you to understand that your tenacity, your stick-to-itness, your ability to see things through is somebody else's motivation. You are somebody else's guide. You are somebody else's leader, even though you don't believe it, even though you may not understand it, and even though you may not realize it. Your tenacity, your stick-to-itness, your ability to get through those things is helping somebody else get better. I want you to pay attention to what you're doing on a daily basis, because what you do in the small moments when nobody's around, yeah, that's character. That's the definition of character. But those moments when nobody else is around, when you're doing the things that need to be done, those things drive your outcomes. Those things when you're in the office, when you're at home, how you do anything is how you do everything, y'all. Evaluate what you're doing. If the results you see are not what you want, change something. Change something. And then finally, find a guide. Somebody's been there, done that. They've got the scars, the stories. They can help you find your motivation. They inspire you to change. They help you uncover your weaknesses, your strengths, so that you can walk out your purpose on this planet. Man, me and Christy Drive Reach Gain is built around the whole premise of helping people find the best version of themselves. My wife and I all we want is for everybody to be the best versions of themselves, because we know if we are all operating in the best version of who we are, man, the world's a better place. If every real estate agent that we ever come in contact with becomes the best version of themselves in this profession, the industry standards can't do anything but go up. They can't do anything but get better. So, happy Friday. Love y'all. We do have some changes coming up, and I'll see if I can't remember these. Sorry, I turned my back on you. I didn't have this book. So moving forward, I think here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna do a weekly call, but this weekly call will just be for either members on our team or members of the collective. We'll talk about that some more. There'll be some information coming out in the future, but we'll do a weekly call, sort of like this, live on Facebook. I don't know if it'll be this early, but we'll do one weekly call with members of the collective. And then what I may do is just on these morning things, I may just like a 5-minute motivation, just a 5-minute speak some life into you in the mornings, but just nothing is like this. We'd also like to do 2 live coaching calls. So if you're interested in us helping you coach, if you're interested in us helping you find the best version of you, if you're interested in us doing some things with you to help you find that better version, best version of you, if you're looking to improve your performance, if you're looking to improve your income, if you're looking to get better in this real estate thing, call us. We're happy to help, man. We're really looking at doing some big things the end of 2023 and into 2024. So you'll get a couple of things with us where that's concerned. And then for everybody on our team, on the collective, we'll start looking for weekly calls with us outside of the weekly the weekly meeting. So, all right, y'all, getting out of here. It's Friday. Got to go. Be good, be great, be you. Have an awesome Friday. Love you guys. Talk to you soon.